Hello my kings, queens, and fellow non-binary leaders, and welcome back to Nerdy Nakama. Today we have another BokuAkaKuroKen video, though it is mostly centered around Bokuto, and it's called Support Needs. This is a fanfic, though it's by no means anywhere as heavy as my other fanfics. Oh my god, talking is hard, guys. But hey, I'm gonna still try my best recording this video, so yeah. Wish me good luck, I hope you enjoy, let's go! When Kuroo returned home, he assumed the house empty at first. Kenma was on a small trip for a sponsorship, which, while highly unusual for him and requiring a lot of convincing on their part, was very welcome. He needed to get out more on occasion. Apparently, their cat-like boyfriend was of an utterly different opinion, but once the hotel confirmed they could meet his accommodation requirements and Akashi offered to accompany him, he relented. Kuroo dared to say he seemed a tiny bit excited now that he had the proper support for his worries to take a back seat in the situation. With the two quiet boyfriends out of the house, assuming it empty upon hearing nothing when he entered was the logical conclusion. He was all the more surprised when he heard muffled sounds suspiciously close to sobs echoing from the bedroom as he walked by. He halted, confused. It rapidly morphed into concern as the sounds didn't cease to prove themselves a figment of his imagination, but intensified as he got closer. It sounded like the person tried to fight them, but failed. His heart clenched as he recognized Bokuto's voice and the mumbling in between. Ko? He knocked on the door gently before opening it. Inside, he was greeted by the ace, sitting on the ground in front of the bed, now furiously wiping at his face to rid himself of the tears painting his turmoil. He sniffled and bit his lip as he looked away, avoiding Kuroo's gaze. The dark head hesitated for a moment at the doorframe, almost hurt as he saw how desperately Bokuto tried to hide this from him. Sorry, didn't know you came home this early. His voice was hoarse and thick with the tears still forming a thin veil over the clouded gold of his irises. Kuroo slowly stepped closer and shut the door behind him. I'm glad I did. I wouldn't want you to hurt alone. He could see his bottom lip beginning to tremble once more. The ace dug his teeth into it to somehow prevent the impending reaction, but in vain. New tears were already claiming the old tracks. Immediately, Kuroo rushed to his side, but paused when the taller flinched away. That was unusual for him, even in, or rather, especially when he was emotional like this. Ko, please talk to me. What happened? He didn't. The only sounds escaping his throat were shaky breaths and occasional sobs as he fought for composure. For a few seconds, Kuroo was at a loss, overwhelmed, as if he had forgotten everything living with the others had taught him. He took a deep breath to ground himself and sat down next to the ace, leaving just enough distance in between them for him to initiate contact or pull away further. What do you need right now? Bokuto hesitated, and when he glanced at him this time, Kuroo recognized a familiar desperation in his eyes. I don't know. How about some options then? We can talk about whatever made you upset. We can cuddle, or find some distraction, or I can give you some space. From the corner of his eye, he saw Bokuto's fingers twitch. The distance between them felt charged and odd, almost unnatural. Kuroo wanted to close it, but waited patiently for Bokuto's answer. The other looked down, defeated, and suddenly irritation flashed over his face. I shouldn't. Whatever you need, it's okay. No, it's not! His hands flew up and grabbed onto his hair as his muscles tensed. It's not. I shouldn't need any of this. I'm too needy and childish. I'm hard to work with and moody, too much and...
Kotaro, stop.
He wished so much he could just reach out and wrap him in his arms. What makes you say such things? Why, it's all true, is it not? Kuroo swore he could hear his heart break at that.
No, of course not. Ko, you... Please, don't. Just go.
What? I want to be alone for a moment. He didn't want to. The pain became visceral to the point it felt almost physical. Leaving Ko on his own felt wrong on so many levels.
Are you sure?
Yes. I choose space, so please, leave. He got quieter toward the end. It sounded pleading, but all Kuroo heard was a plea for him to stay. Still, he got up slowly. Space was an option, just not one he ever saw Bokuto choosing. With heavy dread settling in his stomach, he turned toward the door. If you need anything, or are ready to talk about it, I'll be in the living room. Anything at all, just ask. Your needs are valid. Bokuto didn't meet his gaze or reply, leaving Kuroo no choice but to hope he took it to heart. In the living room, he let himself fall down onto the couch, exhausted, and tried to distract himself. It wasn't exactly successful. The pain reflected in the golden eyes, so closely resembling an ocean painted amber by the setting sun, wouldn't leave his mind. Yet, even as the minutes passed by, no sound came from the hallway indicating that Bokuto had decided to accept his offer. He played with his phone, but soon the TikToks of other happy couples in MSBY only served to fuel his concern. Frustrated, he closed the app, automatically pressing on the green call button. He was left staring at his list of contacts, inclined to simply call Kichi for support, or Kemma, but the latter was stressed out enough already, and he didn't want to ruin their trip. He also wasn't sure Bokuto would be happy that he told their partners in his current state. Instead, he found himself scrolling further until he got hung up on a very familiar name. With a sigh, he pressed on the contact and waited for the ringing to announce itself. Sawamura Daiji speaking, how can I help?
Jeez, do you always answer your calls like that? Kuroo? What's wrong? Didn't save my number?
He was teasing him, but with everything going on, he felt a sting at the possibility. Even after so long, he at least considered the other friends. The dark kid had always assumed that was mutual. No, I mean, yes. Sorry, I just came home, stressful day at work. I had to make a lot of phone calls, so I guess I'm still not quite back to normal. Sorry, sounds like I have bad timing. I didn't mean to stress you out more. He heard who he believed to be Aikawa in the background asking who Daichi was talking to, and Daichi's rushed response. You don't worry. Just gotta switch back to off-work mode. Is there something you need?
Can't I just simply call my friends to keep in contact?
You can, but if you think I didn't notice something off about you, you must either think I'm rather bad at my job or a rather bad friend. Perceptive as always, Sawamura. There was a short pause, following a chuckle from the other end of the line. So, do you want to talk about it? Or something else? Anything I can help with? Kuroo almost laughed at how similar this was to before. How ironic that he should now be the one needing support and being similarly unsure what that should look like. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Bokuto isn't feeling well, mentally I mean, and I want to help him, but he wants space. Sounds like giving him that might be the best you can do for now, although I understand how frustrating that can be.
It's not that. If it were Kemma or even Keiji, I wouldn't be surprised. I know that is what helps them best at times, but Ko... It's not like him. Daichi hummed in understanding. Kuroo sighed, took another deep breath, and proceeded to shift the topic. It helped getting it out there at least once, but he didn't think he was ready to pound up potential solutions that would all boil down to give him time. So, how are you guys doing? Daichi accepted the change of topic with a sigh, but proceeded nonetheless. Overall, not bad. Hajime has almost completely recovered from hurting his ankle, and I can't remember the last time Koshi experienced a flashback or panic attack. We still have some rough patches when everything comes back up again, but we always manage. Kuroo wasn't stupid enough not to realize what Daichi tried to do, but before he could tease him about it, he heard steps moving closer, and before long, Bokuto appeared in the doorframe, head hung low and looking even more exhausted than before. Hey, Daichi. I'll call you back, alright? Sure. Good luck and keep me updated should anything happen. He hummed noncommittedly and hung up, his attention zeroing in on Bokuto. Hey. He didn't reply, but Kuroo saw how the grip on his arms tightened where he had crossed them. Ko, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to send you away. He sobbed and Kuroo's heart broke. Hey, it's okay. You needed space. No, I lied. Again, he was interrupted by sobs, and before he knew it, Kuroo already made his way over to him. He only paused when he was mere centimeters from the ice. Ko, can I touch you? The toddler nodded frantically, and as soon as Kuroo's fingers so much as grazed his skin, Bokuto reached out to pull him closer. He mumbled something which sounded like a mixture of yes please and more apologies. As soon as the initial shock faded, Kuroo tightened his grip on the spiker, one arm firmly around his shoulder, while he let his other hand wander up to the back of his head as Bokuto buried his face against his neck. I got you. It's okay. It's okay to need this. You're allowed to ask for whatever makes you feel better. The other only sobbed harder but tightened his grip on him. Kuroo placed a soothing kiss on his temple and began rubbing circles into his back, slowly easing the tension in his muscles. Eventually, they ended up on the couch, snuggled up tightly. Bokuto's sobs had died down to the occasional hiccup or sniffle, and he stared absent-mindedly into the void, where Kuroo was still solely focused on him. It had been a long time since anything this bad happened. He observed his partner closely for any sign his distress would worsen again. Anything that could help or gave an indicator on how he responded to what Kuroo did. This at least was something he was more familiar with. This was how he expected Bokuto to react in the first place, seeking out his touch and finding comfort in being close to him. Ko. He slowly snipped up from whatever daydream had kept him prisoner. Can you tell me what happened? I'm worried about you. Perhaps it was a selfish request, especially bringing it up now. Bokuto cringed slightly. Please don't be. I can't. I should be able to handle it myself. You are, for the most part. There's no shame in needing help. It is a strength to accept it when you have the option. Not to the extent I need it. Kuroo quickly leaned closer to place a kiss on his neck as he felt a tremble haunting down Bokuto's spine. Where's this coming from? He shrugged his shoulders. Just a bad day, I guess. And then I saw some of the comments in the last interview, and then more, and spiraled, I guess. His grip on Kuroo tightened, who was immediately there to hold him through it. Ko, listen. These people know nothing about you and your struggles. They are not like you, and they don't understand. Even if they claim it, your lives are not comparable like that. I hate when people treat me like a child, but then I do things like this, or I get too excited and think, maybe they're right. No, they're not. You're not a child, and it will never ever be fair to treat you like one. You are capable of so much, and no one gets to belittle that. It is true that some of the ways you express joy or frustration is seen by others as childish, but that's just their internalized ableism talking. Your needs and expression might differ from theirs, but that doesn't mean that you are any less capable or should be taken any less seriously. He leaned his forehead against Bokuto's, a hand in his hair. You made it this far in spite of struggling much more than most. No one gets to belittle that. No one should make you feel less for the joy you share with those around, just because they are too stupid to see the beauty in that. Ko, you're a wonderful and caring person. You are so strong. You have supported me at my lowest, and I need you to understand that no matter what anyone says, or how many hugs, or how much attention or support you require, you're an amazing partner. I wouldn't trade you for the world. When he looked up now, Bokuto's eyes were filled with tears once more, and Kuroo smiled as he wiped them away gently. If Kemba ever said he didn't think he was good enough because sometimes he can't reciprocate or touch or go silent, in rare cases loud when things get too much, would you agree? Bokuto shook his head vehemently, seemingly trying to defend himself but not finding the words. See, the same goes for you. Your needs are valid, and just because you might need more support than me or Keiji doesn't make you less worthy of our love and admiration. Ko, I'm so proud to call you my boyfriend. A silent sob passed Bokuto's lips before he sealed them with Kuroo's in a messy yet heartfelt kiss. They ended up holding each other close once more, and despite best efforts, Bokuto proceeded to thank him over and over again. I love you, Ko. Support needs it all. I wouldn't want to replace you with anyone else. Tetsu, I love you. Always. Please, don't leave. Never.
Thank you so much for watching to the end. I really hope you enjoyed this. This goes out to all my neurodivergent friends and followers who have to deal with childhood trauma now. Yay! Leave a like and subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any more content. It would also really help out this channel. And tell me under the pinned comment which was your favorite quote and or moment. If you like these videos that center more about neurodivergency. Personally, I have autism ADHD, so I can relate a lot. Special thanks as always goes out to my nerdy Nekos. You are the greatest. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. If you watching right now are not a nerdy Neko yet and you want to become one, maybe check out the join button. You get wonderful things like early access. I think this video they get like 2 weeks in advance, so just saying. Here's more content, check that out if you like. Also check out the Discord where I have this section with coming soon for all projects I'm currently working on. And now I hope you have a wonderful and amazing day. Bye!
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.